So, funny enough, this might be one of the more honest blogs I've ever made, maybe. Um, and the reason that I am creating this space is because I think it's not that I was living in delusion. It's that I had some sort of hope that the reality of the vileness of others wasn't what it is. It's almost like when you see a clear, like if someone makes a mistake and then they own up to their mistake and then they correct their mistake and then it like maybe they apologize and it like rectifies the wrong that happened. I thought in my mind that because I'm the type of person who does that other people were also like that. Like I just assumed that. And then I also had this like trust in systems. I feel like the trust now is gone, but like there can't be trust there can't be trust without responsibility. So I think a really good example for this for me right now is the idea of like health insurance and like what it is and what it is providing and what it can provide. So I guess like as I've gotten older, I've utilized more specialists, so like dermatologists or nutritionists, or like I'm going to see an endocrinologist to like check out hormonal things, right? So like all of those things are paid for by my insurance, but every week when I work, taxes are also taken out of my check, which goes toward the government. So like it's also cyclical, right? Like, or the company that I work for pays into the it's like you participate in the system, and then a part of your participation is cyclical. Now, I think that the issue that I am starting to find explicit words for describes the exploitative state that most Black women have been living in for so long. Like we've been putting in and like getting nothing out. And I think it's becoming even more pronounced or clear. Like these Travis Scott videos that keep coming out. And I even think like the Klay Thompson cosplay, it's all just like it's over the limit for me. Like we are past the level of bullshit that I can like tolerate. It's like I can't stay quiet anymore. And I want to really explain what that has to do with me telling this part of the story now. I'm really tired of other people speaking for me. That makes me sick. Like I can speak for myself. And I don't need help. And I don't like it when false narratives and misinformation continue to spread with this like idea of like validation or truth when it isn't. Because I think that the weird part of the Black community is that there's so much dysfunction already. It's like more people contributing more dysfunction does nothing for them. But if you're kind of a person who's more like me, it's like you are Black, but the dysfunction part, like you're not actively seeking it out. I do find that there seems to be like, it's almost like it's not they. I feel like Holly weirdos and the Hollywood media is trying to do something strange where they're trying to create personas almost for black celebs to make them palatable to everyone else, I suppose, because like the cultural shift that's happened in the country and globally is trending more conservative, but it's also value based. Except I feel like for many of us, it's always been like that. Like quite literally, most of us have like lived our life based on our values. Except I really do think that artists and people more like Travis Scott don't have any values, and so they're just like saying anything. They're just like doing like anything. So, but they have a lot of followers. Like lots of people follow them for nothing. Like, you know what I mean? Like they like, it's very strange. It's very, very strange. And so what happens when you like don't know the other side of the story? I don't know. Maybe nothing, because I do think a lot of people walk through society without having any sort of like idea of what the other side is, and it's fine. But I just don't want that to continue here. Like, I really want to build a space that's a little bit more transparent. Not even a little bit more, a lot. But I don't like others learning in real time from things that I'm going through. Like, I'm not your lab rat, if that makes sense. But I also want to use this space to demonstrate a lot of broken systems and a lot of karmic lessons that I feel like have become very clear for me. Because I think that like one thing I think that is very interesting, and I don't know if it's because like I can't really explain all of it, but I can kind of explain this. Like in adulthood, for whatever reason, I continue to be surrounded by Christians, right? But it's like, you guys know, I grew up Buddhist. And so the philosophy that we practice has a lot to do with karma. Karma and justice are like foundational principles. And I do think that, I'm not going to call them civic Christians, but ethical Christians will say that. Those with like a serious sense of morality understand like the 10 Commandments, which are very karma centric, right? It's more like the idea of what goes around comes around. Do unto others as you would like done unto you. Things like that. But not all, but some Buddhist philosophy stems from, some Hindu traditions where they believe in multiple gods, not just one. And all of those gods they teach a different lesson virtually about karma. And I think that in the West, something that is very complicated is this like black and white explanation of right and wrong. And it's typically people who are living in the wrong with just decades of bad karma, and they're trying to spill moral philosophy onto others. And it's kind of like that saying, like, maybe you should take your own trash out before you start telling somebody else to clean up. Like, it's a very like weird sitch. So it's kind of that. I don't want to contribute to anybody else's. If you're here, what I'm saying is I've created this space for us to be able to have very transparent conversations, and I thought for a very long time we could continue to kind of go in the way that we were without unpacking this. And I feel like that bridge might have been crossed a while ago where we couldn't. And I think that probably a few too many people have questions that have been unanswered. And so we are actually just going to answer those questions now. And it is extremely uncomfortable. I've got to be honest. It is extremely uncomfortable for me to talk about probably all of it. But I think it is like necessary to just move forward. So this is the introduction. Hopefully, hopefully this helps unpack something, because man,